The bar was alive with music and laughter when the door swung open. Heads turned as a group of bikers stomped inside, their boots thudding against the wooden floor. At the center of it all was a massive bald man, muscles bulging under his shirt, his tattoos crawling down his arms like flames. He had a reputation. Nobody dared cross him. But tonight, the bar erupted in shock. Glasses stopped halfway to lips. Conversations froze mid-sentence. But instead of embarrassment, what everyone saw silenced the entire room. Inked across her chest, bold and unmistakable, was a tattoo, the emblem of the United States Marine Corps. The biker's grin faded. His hand trembled slightly as he stepped back. He hadn't expected this. The woman didn't cover herself or hide. She stood tall, shoulders squared, and let the tattoo speak louder than words. Whispers spread like wildfire. "She's a Marine," someone muttered. "That's the Corps symbol," another voice confirmed. Instantly, respect filled the air. Marines weren't just soldiers. They were warriors, trained, disciplined, and feared around the world. The woman's eyes swept across the room, meeting the gaze of each man staring at her. "You thought you could disrespect me because I'm a woman, because I'm black. Let me tell you something," she said firmly, her voice steady. "I've stood on battlefields where men like you wouldn't last a minute. You think I'm afraid of you in some bar?" The crowd erupted into murmurs of agreement. Even some of the bikers' own crew lowered their heads, realizing this was a battle their leader had already lost. The biker clenched his fists, torn between pride and fear. He wanted to fight back, to prove he was still the toughest man in the room. But deep inside, he knew this wasn't just any woman. This was someone who had fought real wars, someone who had earned respect the hard way. The silence was unbearable. Then one old man at the bar stood up. His voice cracked but carried strength. "I served in the Marines too. That tattoo isn't just ink. It's a promise of loyalty, courage, and honor. You don't disrespect that." Others nodded in agreement. The biker's tough facade began to crumble. For the first time, the crowd wasn't on his side. They were on hers. Finally, the woman stepped forward, closing the distance between her and the biker. She didn't shout. She didn't swing her fists. She simply looked at him and said, "You think strength is about tearing people down. Real strength is about protecting those who can't protect themselves. That's what makes a warrior." The biker lowered his head, unable to meet her gaze. Slowly, he and his crew backed out of the bar, humiliated but wiser. The room exploded with applause. Strangers walked up to her, thanking her for standing tall, for reminding them what real courage looked like. The bartender poured her a fresh drink, sliding it across the counter with a smile. "On the house, Marine. Semper Fi." The woman nodded, finally taking a seat again. The bar returned to life, but the respect she had earned lingered in the air. Everyone knew they had just witnessed something unforgettable. And from that night on, whenever someone told the story of the bar where the biker lost his pride, they always began the same way. It started when he ripped her shirt and saw the tattoo that froze the whole bar. And that's the story of how one woman's courage and her Marine Corps tattoo silenced an entire bar. Respect is never about size or fear. It's about honor, strength, and the battles you've already fought. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories.